your weekend was good to you. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and claim that this week is going to be good to you as well. And hopefully it's going to start off well because we got a lot to talk about. Okay. So come in, get seated, get comfy. We're going to kick things off this week talking about some OC drama and something that Miss Tamra posted on her Instagram this weekend. We're also going to talk about our other West Coast girlies, Beverly Hills. They are not in Australia for a cast trip, but I'll tell you where they are. And we'll talk about who's there. Okay. And then also, we're going to celebrate Real Housewives of London. Even though if you're watching this from anywhere in the United States, you're like me and won't see a damn second of it. And we'll talk about that too. So let's get started. Okay. But yes, happy Monday. Hope your weekend was good to you. Tell me, anything good happened? Anything exciting? Did you have a lazy self-care weekend at home? Did you work all weekend like Vicky Gumbelson? Tell me. Because what Tamra Judge was doing this weekend was being a messy pants. And let me tell you why. Because it seems to me that, on the heels of last week's Real Housewives of Orange County episode, where this was the episode where Tamra quit the show, and she has since admitted to having taken a Xanax and mixing it with alcohol during filming, which is, if you watch the episode, a lot of people are like, you're out of it. You're not being yourself. Like, not the audience, the cast was saying that to her on camera. And I'm guessing that has all manifested in Tamra not feeling very supported by the audience. And it's seeming that she's getting a lot more hate than compassion. And that's what she was seeking, how she wanted a casserole, if we're going to put it in Vicky terms. All she wanted was a casserole, But it seems that Tamra, expected or hoped for, I guess, some understanding and compassion from the viewers, in the sense that this is all coming on the heels of her anxiety and a depression that she's fighting in regards to Teddy and her sickness. And that is why she wasn't, herself. And basically, she's not getting that compassion from the audience, it seems. It seems a lot of people are like, they thought that the scene in New Orleans was targeted towards Katie. And then with the Gretchen of it all, the tie-in about the roofie comment, and it just seemed, I even saw someone say that they feel that Tamara set all this up. And I don't think she got the reception and the response that she was hoping for. And she took to Instagram about it this weekend and said, "God forbid you guys ever have to deal with the pain and depression I was dealing with when she left New Orleans," is what she's referring to. She says, "They wonder why I left. Maybe I should have gotten a DUI to feel some compassion." And we've never loved our housewives for having a way with words, necessarily. We love them for the opposite. I don't think that as Sutton Strack said to Brandy Glanville one time, maybe you can learn to just not say stuff. Maybe you should have gotten a DUI to feel compassion. Okay, number one, Shannon did get compassion through her DUI. And you know why? Because she took accountability. Something we have not seen an ounce of in Tamra Judge in 18 years. Shannon also got compassion because on the heels of the DUI, her friends, because friends are there for you no matter what, turned and then partnered up with one of the people that was then the main, fuel behind Shannon's dark space, which was Alexis and John. So maybe Shannon got compassion not for the DUI. Maybe Shannon got compassion because she did take a little bit of accountability, and the audience saw that she needed compassion because she, like Katie this year, was the target. So miss me with the, can I get some compassion? Because we've now gone, what do you want compassion for? We've lost topic. What we have, it's so now focused on her her emotions, her being upset, the viewer almost has to be like, wait, why? And it's because your friend is fighting for her life. But you're out here on a public platform literally begging for compassion. Maybe we should put our energy elsewhere. That's just me. So it's just crazy to me that even after all this, it seems like it's still not really clicking for Tamara and for some of the other women. And that leads me to my next point, which is I had a conversation with a friend this weekend, one of my, good housewives friends that watches the show, is a viewer like me and all of us. And we just were talking about how OC is gearing up to have a really good reunion, in the sense that there's a lot to discuss. There are a lot of emotions, and there's a lot of, I think, strained connections. I think there's a lot of moving parts. But I also think it's going to be a lethal reunion. Like, for example, and my friend made a good point. He's like, he said, we're weeks away. I mean, we're weeks and weeks and weeks away from them even filming the reunion. And he's like, and Tamara is literally on Instagram knocking Shannon about her DUI still. He's like, they're weeks away. God only knows what's going to happen between now and then that makes them even more upset. And so we just were talking about, like within the press and stuff right now, within everything going on. And I think the women maybe seeing the audience sway, to the side of supporting Katie. I think that maybe some of them don't really know where they stand as far as the show, as far as alliances on the show. And I think everybody's going to come in swinging. And I think that the fact that everyone's coming in swinging, combined with some of the topics that will have to be discussed, which are drug allegations, stuff like that, it's going to be in the gutter. Dark, dirty, messy. And I've got my waders on, baby. I'm ready to get through it. Bring it on. But for real, I think it's going to be really, really bad. I think that there's so many, like you've got Shannon versus Katie. You've got Heather versus Katie. We don't really know what the Tamara and Katie situation is. Emily's gone for Katie. Gina's kind of sticking up for Katie. So do we have Gina versus Emily? Do we also just have, we still have the basis of Shannon versus Tamara? We have Jen versus Tamara. I don't even know where to start. They're going to need to film for 4 days. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be rough. And I do think that Katie will get first seat this year. I definitely do. I think that we'll see Katie get first seat. I think we'll have a Katie. This is what I think it'll be. I think it will be, will Jen or Katie be, or Jen or Gina be second? All right, I think it'll be Gina on the end, Jen Pedranti, Katie, Andrew, Tamra, Heather, Emily, and either Shannon on the end, or no, Shannon will be between Heather and Tamra. But that also feels weird. But you also can't have Shannon on the same couch as Katie. Or will Katie and Tamra be on the same couch? Jesus, for the love of God. And for Gretchen's on set, for the safety of Gretchen, put her up there next to Andy. Like, not even at the first seat, like how they put Lisa Vanderpump up next to Andy. Like, we need protection. There's another feud, Gretchen versus Tamra. That's a 3-parter in itself. Buckle up, baby. You know what? For once, because nobody wants the OG in the mix more than me. I want my girl in the mix. I'm glad that she'll be at Kodo that day. at the office because, whoo, yeah, it's going to be rough. KM says Shannon will be last seat for sure. She earned last seat this year. That to me is where strategically, like when you're looking at the season, where she would be placed. I also believe in little statements and things that's Bravo attempting to make a statement. And like, look, Drew was on the end this year, but Drew was the main, she was involved the most. So that made no sense. I think Shannon being on the end after, with the tenure that she has and the history of her not being anything down further than second seat, would probably not be a good message to her. I don't think it would start her day off that well. You know what I mean? I think it says a lot that we see Gretchen at home because we never see a friend of at home scenes really. And there are certain housewives that we never see at home scenes of too. Because there's nothing going on. So that's why they gotta erupt chaos. You see what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm whispering now. I'm scared she'll hear me. But yeah, let me know what you think on what you think the OC reunion seating chart will be. And are you as nervous for the content and context of the reunion as I am? Somebody might not make it out alive. And I don't know who. I don't know. It is, it's going to be, I think it's going to be very, very, very intense. I can't wait. So let's move on. Something else that's intense is whoever has to handle the call sheets for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because baby, they got about 18 schedules to coordinate. Right now, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are filming what is seemingly their final cast trip of season 15. And I keep saying I feel like they've been filming forever, but my friend said the other day, he's like, no, it's pretty standard. They only started in like April or May or something. But we've been to Italy with the ladies before. I think we were in Rome with them before, and we are now, ladies are in Florence, Italy, filming for their final cast trip, and which is great. If you have seen some of the photos, they all look incredible. Specifically, Erica wore this like cheetah/leopard number the other day with the blonde like updo, and I just almost like moaned out loud when I saw it, not because I'm sexually aroused, but because I just like want to look that good. I want to be her in that moment. Killing the fashions. So excited to see, they usually have some sort of tie-in to the show, like why they go somewhere. So excited to see what that little tie-in is and how authentic and real it feels or doesn't feel. But yeah, interested to see how they ended up with Italy again. Now, we had talked before about how they were rumored to be going to Melbourne, Australia, which would have been huge and would have been awesome to finally see a U.S. franchise make their way down under. But we'll take Italy. We'll take it. And this is the thing. We feel bad though because there's about 18 people filming. And before anybody says it, and it was like, that must mean that nothing's going on, and they got to be out here and film all these people. I don't think if nothing's going on, they're going to come and add random faces at the very end of filming, because how are they going to splice that into the beginning? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. And I have the most confidence of any franchise in Beverly Hills, and people love to give Beverly Hills a hard time. And then they also love to stay silent when those ratings are light years ahead of all the other series. So don't take this as me talking crap and showing concern and being a little worried. I just don't know what's going on. So if someone would just tell me, I wouldn't have to wonder anymore. But there have been a number of TikToks of, I think other people that were like, on vacation in Italy, and they just saw like all the women filming I Would Die. And I mean, there were like 10 girls. Like, I'm not playing. Like, how many cameramen do y'all have to capture all these people? Y'all had to put everybody in 2 hotels, 2 planes. It looks like the Housewives of New Jersey cast, except, they have to be separated because they just can't look at each other. No, Housewives of Beverly Hills, it's like you're group 1, you're group 2. We're over capacity. There ain't enough diamonds in the world, But look, I always trust and never doubt. the Housewives of Beverly Hills and the production team behind them. They get a hard time. I don't know why. I love them, always will. And this is a monumental 15th season for them. My girl Kyle, 15 years, baby. I love when an OG just has another milestone, you know. So I don't doubt that it will be exceptional. I am just nosy and don't want to wait to find out. Speaking of waiting, you know what else I don't want to wait for is for someone in the world or someone at Bravo to decide, you know what, maybe we can share the Real Housewives of London with these loyal Bravo viewers that have, you know, just been around for years and want to watch all of our shows. Like, why can't we do that? Because the Housewives of London has officially premiered as of today on Hey You, Hi You, Who You, Whore You. I don't know what it is, but I can't ever say it right. And you got to have like a VPN to watch it or whatever, which I've now heard that even the VPNs ain't watching. So even if, or ain't working. So even if I had figured out how to do that, I think I would still be out of luck, you know? But saying all that to say, I don't like FOMO. I'm an only child. It is ingrained in me to feel left out. Anytime I see somebody doing anything, I'm like, me, I want to go. And now I can't even get on Twitter. Everybody's talking about the Housewives of London with their little teacups and, you know, being all like British and like they're cute. And guess what I can't do? Join. Be a part of the conversation. Engage. Laugh. I can't even get the jokes because I haven't seen the show. Why can't we see the show? Andy's like, it's not a Bravo project. Well, neither are these random films that y'all play on a Saturday morning. Hello? I mean, I think dang Jurassic Park or something was on the other day. You think that my gay ass wants to watch Jurassic Park? No. I want to watch bougie women in London. Help me. Oh. Fascinating. So, to all those, you know, watching today with a cup of hot tea, have fun and have a cup of tea for me too. And watch again for me too. Because I and millions of others here in the States who, by the way, are desperate for content right now because Atlanta is not on. And I feel like my Sundays are dead. I'm waiting for Salt Lake City. We have another 4 weeks of that. How delightful it would have been. Delightful. Just have a little something to take in this week. But none for us. So, whatever. You know? All right, gonna go back and read y'all's comments and see what your thoughts are. Let me know. Happy Monday. Queen says, happy Monday. Where are you from, Queen? Where are you watching from? We need Vicky back. She is not scared of Tamara. Vicky's not scared of anything except an empty email inbox, because then what's she gonna do? She that's probably her biggest fear. You know, it was actually magical watching Tamara think she had complete control over that dinner, and all the women within seconds, Gretchen turned everyone against her with her grace and class. I mean, that whole thing was very confusing to me. And you'll hear, if you listen to mine and Vicky's episode tomorrow, we literally talk about the confusion trying to keep up. Like, yes, so I'm like, who is being accused of what? Is it just Katie being accused of saying it? Is it, or do Gretchen and Katie not believe each other? Are we thinking they both are guilty of saying it, but just have a pact to deny? Do we think Tamara's making it up? I'm like, I know that there is anger and frustration and hurt feelings. I'm trying to map where the fingers are pointing. Does that make sense? And so to just follow up on what you said, Queen, about like having the table under control, somebody should have had better control, because I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? I was just a lot going on. But yeah, it was very like, it was the nicest and most, I think, compassionate we've seen Tamara towards Gretchen in 12 years, was her saying like, look, like, I get it. Like, you know, let me take you outside. Do you want to talk about this? And then before Gretchen could even finish her thought, and Tamara assumed that thought meant that she was not believing Tamara, and she was kind of, erring on the side of believing Katie. Tamara lost it. And my whole thing is like, you should have known that she didn't want to believe you. Would you believe her with something that she brought to you? No, but she's telling you, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I'm not telling you it's a no. I'm telling you that we have a history here of pain and distruths. So dishonesty, lies. So it's like, forgive me if I'm not telling you I don't believe you. I'm telling you I'm walking slow. And I think that's fair, And I mean, I also do think that like Katie's literally like her only ally really is Gretchen and Jen. And so to back, Auntie said right here, they're trying to ice Katie out so she has no one to film with her. Yes. Like, why else in the world, for the first time in 12 years, would Tamara try and have that moment with Gretchen? Like, hey, like she's saying this or da-da-da. Like, so, and then the person that's really getting the most screwed over in all this is Shannon, because she's the one out here that actually had like an issue with Katie, or so she felt, but she's kind of being egged on, and her frustrations and angers are being heightened and gassed up by everybody behind her. And she's the one lashing out and looking so wrong and out of place for what she's doing. And it's all because she's just, listening to the BS and trying to, I think, be a part of the drama and takedown, because it feels like it's the direction for the story this year. But we need to just take a step back. And Auntie said Heather's behind it too, 100%. Someone said it on Twitter, and I think I read this before. It was the perfect way to put it. Heather and Tamara had the plan. Emily and Gina are the mouthpieces. Shannon is the culprit. 100%. And the moment that they start trying to separate Jen and Katie, mark my words, that's when we will know, okay, the goal was to have Katie alone on Scary Island, isolated. So either she didn't want to come back and film, or production didn't see a natural bridge forward for her. Because in no way, shape, or form does Tamara probably deep down care about whatever was shared or said between Gretchen and Katie, and most certainly not Shannon and Katie, and definitely not Jen and Katie. So the moment she tries to separate those friendships and, guise it as you need to know what she's doing, she doesn't care. They're just trying to isolate Katie. And I think that Jen would be the last one that they try and do that with. And if we see them do that, that is all the proof in the world that this is a big plan, And like I said, lying is bad. Yes. And I said to Vicky in the episode that comes out tomorrow, I was like, it's to the point that viewers don't even care or know what the lies are about. Like, it's bad when we are willing to say, yes, she shouldn't have done that, and she lied. But between the two choices, her wrong wasn't as deep as yours, and the way that you are going after her for it, based on history and based off things we've seen you have a reaction to before. It's a double-edged sword, because it's, there's a great thing about having a tenure on these shows, and a great thing about having people that watch you for 20 years. But we also know your game, and we have history and we have context now. And so I feel like the viewers are seeing it for what it is. And as I said before too, like, we still have weeks to go. Like, I'm kind of nervous, honestly, because like Gretchen has said, Tamara has said, Heather has said, they all say that it gets very, very dark. And I said, gets? We're using the word roofie in the mid-season. It's dark. So I mean, we need the little construction man, like helmets with the lights. Is it, you know what I'm saying? Are we really I don't know. And, they keep teasing the finale, the finale, the finale. And that also is another reason why I was saying that the reunion is going to be so intense, is because everyone's talking about all this stuff that we haven't even seen yet, that they say is dark. And they already have this strong of an emotions based off what's just airing right now. They better have security on set. You know what I'm saying? In the words of Karen Huger, security. All right. Well, that's all we have for today, everybody. Going to start to wrap up. Can't thank you enough for telling you, for, spending some of your Monday with me. I hope it was lovely. And you know what? I hope that there's no lethal reunions in your near future. I hope that we're just watching them, All right. So be sure to slide into my DMs, Christian Gray Snow, or Hurrdat's DMs over on Instagram if you have anything you want us to talk about. I'll be back here same time on Wednesday and Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, be sure to come hang out with us, listen to all your Hurrdat pods, and pray for the people that are working the OC reunion. All right. Love y'all. Besos. Be sure to whip it up today. Woohoo!